This is an erotic novel, by the way. So if you don't want to listen to that, just stop listening for the next 5 minutes.
I got a free audiobook the other day. It's called Sexy Filthy Boss.
Why?
Because it was free. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to like the... I was reading Whoops, not... how did I get to chapter 22? Oh my god, it's playing. It's been playing... How long has this been playing for? Okay, about this book. He's the sexy alpha male in the corner office who goes through assistants faster than free donuts in the break room. I'm the assistant who was chosen to cover for his last fire. The owner of the company is clear. Hooked the biggest client in our firm's history, and there's a partnership for him and a promotion for me. Stipulation: we do it together. It doesn't take a tarot card reading psychic to figure out where our story is headed. Late nights, trips out of town, and more than a few awkward moments filled with sexual tension. No worries though, I pride myself on my willpower. I can totally ignore his sexy grin, his rock-hard body, and his dreamy brown eyes. I will not become the woman of other women hate, but it turns out this is his name.
What?
His name is... But it turns out...
What, Edward?
It turns out Enzo Mancini has a lot of layers.
Enzo Mancini! And I listened to more of the sexy, dirty, filthy, nasty, stinky, ugly, grimy, smelly, disgusting boss. I listened to more of that. More of Enzo. Yeah, baby! Oh my gosh, do you guys want... You guys want an update? Yes, please? Okay, so I got to chapter 8? I'm on chapter 8, I think. But it's about a lady who works for this advertising firm. Her name is Annie. And she's the assistant of another guy named Mr. Beardsman. I don't know. He's not important. Annie becomes the assistant of Enzo. One day, Enzo Mancini's assistant quits. And Enzo Mancini is just like, I need a new assistant. And so Mr. Beardsman is just like, you can have my assistant. He didn't really say that, but she was just like, no, today is my half day. And they're like, not anymore. And so she has to go to this meeting where they made an advertisement for diapers. Anyway, the commercial was like, I'm a dad. I don't know how to put on a diaper. But if I put on these diapers from XYZ brand, I'm a good dad. And the people were not very impressed with that. They were like, we don't like your commercial. Annie is the girl's name. Annie speaks up and she's just like, he needs to know the beauty of childbirth. And they were like, her! She's a genius. Put her on the team. And so now she's Enzo Mancini's new assistant. Bum, bum, bum! So that's where I think we left off last time. And so she had just gotten promoted to Enzo Mancini's new assistant. And she has like a couple work friends. And she goes to one of her work friends and she's just like, I can't believe I just got moved to be the assistant of one of the biggest dicks in the office. And then she thinks in her brain, I wonder if he has the biggest dick in the office. At some point she just starts calling him Enzo and she's just like, when have I thought of him as Enzo? Yeah, they're on a first name basis. They've known each other for 1 day. Mind you, they have known each other for 1 day. She's not like other girls because she doesn't want to take his dry cleaning downstairs. And he was like, when haven't they done that? And her snarky remark, she like flips her hair and goes, since the 70s. Annie is a girl boss queen. And so like there's this HR lady that the author I think she hates her. I think she hates her a lot. Because she's like, Her nasty cardigan is always covered in cat hairs. I hope I never end up like Shelby. Her decrepit, like, it has mothball smell and is falling apart. It's covered in cat hair. Justice for Shelby! I know, right? Like, what has Shelby ever done to you? So one of the things I wrote this down because I need help interpreting what it is, because all I can think of is one thing. So the HR lady, she says they'll get along together, and then quote, this is what the author wrote: she does that thing with her fingers pointed together and leaves. What is the thing with her finger? I keep thinking of the uwu pose. What does that mean? Uwu? I think you'll get along well, uwu. It's ninjutsu. So then it moves on to the next chapter where it's all about Enzo and his brothers. Oh yeah, the brothers. Oh my god, he has 3 brothers? No, it's him and 2 other brothers. 3 brothers. They're all brothers. And they have a sister. But they're all like the I don't want to get married kind of type. But their mom is literally depressed. Their mom is just like, your cousin is married and has a child, and I have all my sons that are not married and don't care about marriage. So they're just like, how do we make our mom less depressed? You know? How do we make our mom less depressed? And so they decide to rock, paper, scissors on who is going to sell off their sister to instead get married. They're just like, we can't make our mom happy, so let's just sell off our sister instead. And then this part is where I was like, this book is so whack. I can't with this book anymore. So the sister of Annie, she's pregnant. While Annie's at work, she goes into labor. During like one of the business meetings that she's in, her dad calls and it's just like, you need to get to the hospital. Your sister's in labor. She's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be an aunt. There's another guy at work that's in the business meeting that's just like, okay, mind you, they haven't known each other for 1 day. There's another guy in the room that's just like, oh my god, Enzo Mancini, you don't understand babies and diapers. Go with her and witness this stranger's childbirth. Go into that room and intrude on this precious family moment and witness childbirth. And he goes. He doesn't know this lady. Nothing. He knows nothing about this family, and he knows nothing about this family. And he goes there, and apparently Annie and her mom have like some deep beef. It sounds like Annie's mom maybe stole her boyfriend or something, because Annie's mom is just like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And she's like, "No. What are you gonna do? Do it again or something like that?" And the mom is just like, "Oh, that's not fair, Annie." So then he goes into the room and he's like, man, I'm not welcome here. It's like, no shit. Oh, and so Annie, on the way to the hospital, I forgot about this. Annie says that her sister might not want him seeing her hoo-ha, and he gets upset. And he says, quote, Annie, we're not 5. Say it with me. Vagina. The whole birth scene is also taking place from Enzo Mancini's POV, right? When they change the chapters, when it's Annie's part, it's narrated by a lady. And when it's Enzo's part, it's narrated by a man. And so the entire part of the labor was narrated by this fucking dude who was moaning and crying. He's just like, oh, I never fucking do this. And I'm like, he's simulating this lady giving birth. And so after all of this, he books it. As soon as it's done, Annie, like, looks up and he's gone. And he sends flowers to the hospital, and she's just like, I read the note several times. First off, bitch, it's not for you. The note was not for you. But she's like, I secretly read his note several times because Enzo Mancini just has such a way with words. And it was literally the most basic shit I've ever heard before. It was just like, you welcomed a beautiful baby to the world. That was it. And so then she goes back to work, and he Riz, as they say. Enzo Mancini is just like, hey, Annie, come to my office. She's just like, yeah. And he's like, I tried to send you flowers. Your address was incorrect because she recently moved, and so she's just like, oh my god, he's stalking me now. But apparently he really got a good reaction out of her because she was just like, someone sent me flowers. And she was like crazy blushing. She was like, oh my god. And so he was like, interesting. The flowers get delivered to work instead. And one of her friends comes up and she's like, who are the flowers from? Because they're like roses and stuff. Why? She's like, my dad. And he's like laughing from the other room. Like a weirdo. He's just watching their conversation. And then he calls her and he goes, that was entertaining. Cowabunga! Choo-choo! So in the most recent chapters, I'm on chapter 17. Because each chapter is about 10 minutes long. In case you're curious. And there was more Shelby slander. Literally, oh my gosh. I don't know what Shelby has done to these ladies. She talks about Shelby... Who's Shelby? She's like the HR lady of this advertising firm. Literally, when she comes on the screen, she's just like, Shelby once again is wearing a cat-covered cardigan. Literally, her cardigan is covered with cats. She's the most the author made her the most one-dimensional character ever because she's just like, Shelby loves cats and that's it. If she is talking to anyone, it's about the work, the job, or cats. So there was a part when like she gets told that she's gonna be Enzo Mancini's assistant full-time, and she's just like, she's really mad about it because she wanted a higher position. And so they have like this heated moment where they're just staring at each other silently. They're like, and then in her brain she's thinking to herself, do not fall for the boss. And I was like, oh no, my brain rot. So they're going out. Oh my gosh, you guys, they're dating. For real, they're dating. It's crazy. Everything is happening. So they have to stay at a hotel together. And that's where things get spicy. They get hot. And I don't even know if I can say this line. So he is using his mouth to lick the lollipop. And she says a line that just really... Okay, I'm just gonna say it and then I'm going to explain why I think it's wrong. I mean, everything is wrong in this book. She says, Enzo Mancini is the Picasso of oral sex. You could have picked anyone. You could have picked Monet. You could have picked Van Gogh. But you picked Picasso. This guy became so depressed in his late life that his self-portrait devolved into literal scribbles. And right now it's like a whole bunch of back and forth of Annie being like, I can't just have sex with my boss and us not be a thing. I'm gonna lose my job. And now rumors are flying around the office place and people are like, oh my god, they're doing stuff together. And Enzo Mancini goes to the head boss because he wants his promotion. And the head boss is like, I don't know, there's been these rumors, and if you become... he's like, working with this female has changed you, Enzo Mancini. You used to not care about what women thought about. And soon, if I promote you to boss, people are gonna start asking for days off. And literally, like, Enzo is having this inner turmoil. He's just like, oh my god, it's me. I've been the misogynist this whole time. Oh my gosh. Is there any updates on Enzo? Oh my god. Absolutely. There are updates. I finished the book. Enzo did one of the worst things at the end of the book. He was such a piece of shit. I couldn't forgive him. I literally thought he deserved everything. Actually, well, maybe. No. I was gonna say maybe the girl deserved this. You know what? They're both a terrible fucking couple. They can go be miserable by themselves together. They have a presentation, right? At the end of the book. Where they're presenting to this company that sells a bunch of stuff. They sell like diapers and baby things, and then also condoms. I don't understand this company. Oh, and tampons? I don't know what this company does. They're everybody. They sell everything. And so they had to make an advertisement for the condoms. Choo-choo! Enzo's just like, we go with my idea. And Annie's like, no, we go with my idea. And so they settle that they're going to come up with 3. So it's the day of the meeting. They wanted to come up with 3 so it didn't look like that Enzo and Annie were like arguing about which one's the better advertisement. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the day of the meeting. Enzo Mancini goes up to the front of the room and he's like, here is our condom ad. And shows his own. And then says, yup, this is what we came up with. When I tell you, I literally gasped. I was like, oh, he did not! He didn't even try to show the others. Oh my god. I was like, you piece of shit. And Annie literally storms out the room. So that's the ending. The ending is because he basically screwed over Annie. The boss of the company was like, you screwed over a woman. That's awesome. You get the job. And Enzo was just like, oh no, I am the baddie. And then he quits. And Annie also quit. And Enzo's like, I'm gonna make my own company, baby. And she's just like, okay, I'm gonna come with you. And he's like, no. You need to go to that other company because they offered you a job and you want to work there. And she's like, no. I want to be with you. I was like, how did you forgive this motherfucker after that? I was so pissed. I hope they're miserable together forever and ever and ever. Oh my god. Anyway, I've been playing Minecraft, you guys. I promise. Oh my god. There was one time he goes to Annie's apartment and he's just like, where are your toys? Wink wonk. Wink wonk. And she's just like, you'll never find them. Spoiler alert, they were under her bed. Like she's some fucking Houdini. Like, he pulls one out and she's like, that's my favorite one. She goes, that I don't even want to say this out loud. She says, that's my favorite one. The unicorn cock.